Recently, the City of Johannesburg unveiled the details for the upcoming Demo Africa conference, which will take place in Sandton this August.
Demo Africa is a launchpad for technology startups from Africa. So what we do is we go across the continent looking for the most interesting technology companies who have interesting products. Then we bring them together to launch in front of investors, technology buyers, and the media.
Now in its 5th year, this is the first time the annual Pan-African Conference will be held in Johannesburg, perfectly aligning with the city's aggressive promotion of innovation and technology over the past decade.
We've been doing demo for the last 5 years, and when we look at the trends in terms of the technology and innovation growth and activity, there are actually three centers. 3 big centers. There are other little places, but there are 3 big centers. Nairobi, Kenya, Lagos, Nigeria, and South Africa, which is between Cape Town and Johannesburg. So we knew for sure that South Africa will be the next host for demo.
The significance is huge. Looking at the potential that this platform creates especially for young emerging entrepreneurs, people with amazing innovation that's out there, but no one really sees it. So this platform is so important that people will actually be bringing their own creation into the public, with investors coming in and picking on the best ideas and making sure those that could actually see up to production stage, where it could actually be an opportunity for those that are starting. So as City of Johannesburg, we're quite excited to partner with Demo Africa, to partner with the Department of Science and Technology, and we look forward because we know if done correctly, as a government, it's a facilitator of growth. We see this thing as a huge opportunity. Especially for challenges that we face. Today we have huge challenges, and some of the challenges that we face, solutions are around the ICT technology that's coming, and through that technology, that challenges that we have can be resolved. And we would be happy if those could be scaled up, where many jobs could be created and new solutions to complex problems that we have can be addressed through this platform.
Government agencies and partnerships have shown to play a key role in facilitating innovative thinking and entrepreneurship.
I think one of the highlights really is around harnessing talent that's out there. That if we didn't partner, say, with science and technology, we didn't partner with others, Microsoft, private sector, we didn't partner with the institutions of higher learning, that some of those people, their ideas would not find the light of day.
The Innovation Hub is a space for these entrepreneurs to get the mentorship, to interact with successful business people. But then also we have the Technology Innovation Agency, where we have support, funding instruments that enable these companies. But then what Demo Africa is adding to this existing ecosystem is how do we use an international investor community to come and give us support? Because within the existing ecosystem, it's around the national instrument, the national venture capital community, the national investment that we are making. But what we in the Department of Science and Technology also recognize, international partnerships are key to achieving success and for scaling up, both in terms of if you have innovations, how do you take it to the international market, but then also how then do you get the international investor communities to come and invest in these technology innovations.
One of the biggest challenges in the South African ICT space is brain drain, when highly trained or qualified people immigrate to other countries.
In terms of entrepreneurs, what you find is if they don't find the right ecosystem in the country, they leave. And how then do you make sure that you create an ecosystem that nurtures them, that gives them the support so that they develop their businesses here, and that we reap the benefits for our society from these businesses. It's very much about trying to stem that brain drain. But we also say that when people do go, they become ambassadors for South Africa science and technology. It's not a one-way. It's not an issue of just keeping people in the country and preventing them. It's of making sure that people who want to stay and work in South Africa find an environment that's conducive to it, but also that people work with international partners, because that's very important. International companies and entrepreneurs come and invest in our country. Similarly, our entrepreneurs and technology startups go elsewhere. So I think it's very important that we recognize that this international partnership is what we're striving for, and not merely to keep people in the country, but to make sure that if they do want to stay, there is the very robust and vibrant environment for them to succeed.
I think South Africa is positioned in a way that probably is slightly below the rest of the tier one, if you want to call them that, tier one countries, where you're seeing a lot of innovation and stories coming out of innovation. But that is not necessarily true, because I think we've interacted with a lot of companies from South Africa through the Demo Africa process, and some of the technologies that are coming out of South Africa are global standards. But I see sometimes, a lot of the time, is perception and the stories that go out through different channels, that you tend to feel like this country is doing better than this other one. But actually, when you now start interacting with the different players within that space, then you start to see differently. So I think South Africa has been underreported, if I may say that, in terms of the innovation that is coming out of here.
In 2015, Demo Africa participants raised over 110 million rand in funding. And in the last 4 years, Demo Africa alumni have raised about 200 million rand in investment and business deals.
Some of the companies that are really doing well, one is Wezatele, which was, they raised $1.7 million last year. And it's a micro lending company. They started as a peer-to-peer lending company, then they became they were bought actually by a micro lending company, financial services. Then there's another company from Nigeria called SpacePoint. SpacePoint, it's an e-commerce platform, but as you know, e-commerce in Africa is so difficult because of addressing. So what SpacePoint did was to actually create a whole logistics company behind their e-commerce platform, where people can actually now, when you buy something on their portal, you're actually guaranteed that it will be delivered at the right address. That is a big problem in Africa, because our addressing system is not up to par. Then another one is actually locally here. We have Go Metro, who went ahead to, I think they raised quite a bit of money as well, and they're also doing very well. We have Traffic Bytes from Egypt, who went ahead to raise about $1 million. So there are a lot of companies that have gone to, one, raise money, but most importantly, delivered value, and their businesses are rolling. And I think so raising money is good. But at the end of the day, you have to be able to deliver value so that your business becomes sustainable. Investors really look for very basic things. One, because you see, if I'm going to put my money into a business, I have to be sure that whoever is behind that company has the ability to take it to market. So if it's a product or it's a company, there's a team that is going to be able to take that product or take that company into market and become successful. That is number one. Number two is you've got to have a working product which is innovative. It's not copycat. It can be copycat, but in a very different way. So it can't be another Facebook, because you can't compete with Facebook. Yeah. So it's got to be something that is compelling. You're solving a real problem. So you're not imagining a problem, you're solving a real problem that is in community, and that's how it becomes a business, because you're providing a solution to it. I think number 3 is investors will also be looking for value. So how have you valued your company in terms of, so if I'm going to put in $10,000, what am I getting out of it? You need to be very clear about that, because an investor will be looking at, is this worth $10,000 or is it $5,000? And also you have to be careful that you actually don't undervalue your company. So it's you know, you need to be very clear on what you're offering, what you want back, what you want people to perceive the company, what it is. And we give most of the startups that come through us, we give them a lot of those tips through our mentorship and the coaching process. Humanity is the same, generally, and if you look at problem solving, you realize that if you solve, say, a traffic problem in Johannesburg, most likely, if you get it right, most likely that solution can work in Nigeria, it can work in Brazil, it can work in India. I think what we need to do is, as a continent and as entrepreneurs in this continent, is to have the confidence to say, okay, so I'm going to create a solution that will solve traffic problems in the developing world. Not in Johannesburg, not in Nairobi, but in the developing world. I think we need to start thinking bigger so create solutions that are scalable. Solutions that can be used in different countries or can be used for different applications.